Hello. In this training session, we're going to go through how to update your community, your resident face sheets for each of your residents, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at one of our test communities. We're going to head into your SPA first, and we're going to use a test community for today's example. You're going to head into Actions and Resident Files, and in this section right here, we're gonna use my dad here, Sung Bae here. What I recommend is using the Facesheet PDF here. The Facesheet one-pager here squishes everything in, and it doesn't give you actual picture profile. And so let's just take a look at what kind of content we have, data that's loaded into Sung Bae right now. So as you can see, the content here is empty. We essentially have the resident's name, the move-in date, and then the Medicaid assisted. We don't have the apartment number or any of that information on here. So I'll just take you through the steps on how to fill out this form properly here. We're going to head back into your RAM, the resident account management. We're going to go into your test, well, for this example. We're going to go into resident, and then resident information. And here we're going to find the resident that we want to update their information. So the very first one is Bae Sung. So this is one of the two areas that you'll need to update in order to fill out this content here. Okay. So we'll go through step by step here, and we'll just use some fake numbers here. Medicaid numbers 544A. Let's see, payer type, we can leave it at that. Resident no, gender is male, gender notes, and that is the important information here. So we're going to go ahead and save the changes. And then we're going to jump back into the SPA program. And we're going to go back to Actions, Resident. We're going to find the resident that we're working on. And if you click on the face sheet, you've got some I know what we did. One thing that's a good example. One thing when you're working off the RAM program is after you've completed entering in the RAM, you're going to have to click on Utilities and click on the Sync Data from AR. This is highly important. So whatever you do on the RAM side of it, you're going to sync in with the SPA side of the program. So we're going to go ahead and click that, and then we're going to go back to View Resident File, and go back to the resident, and then go back to the face sheet here. And then as you can see that the Medicare number is a Social Security number populated here, those two things that we entered into the RAM side of it. So we're going to leave that tab open, and in the SPA side of it is where you're going to be updating most of the resident information. And so you're going to go ahead and click on this personal info right here. And for test purposes, we're going to, in the insertion box, we're going to use, let's just use State Farm, test, diagnosis, test. allergies, allergies. Oh. And dietary notes, we're just going to use test for dietary. Blood pressure. You can enter in that information if you want. For now, I guess we can just write some stuff in there. Oop. Let's see, pharmacy. We're going to use consonants. And the pharmacy and the mortuary information is loaded into your action. And this is where you're going to be adding in your pharmacy, hospitals, mortuary. These are the three areas that we're going to be entering your defaults. And so that gives you these drop downs here. So here we're going to use consonants. Mortuary, there isn't a mortuary added here, so we'll go ahead and do that. Veteran, preferred hospital, there's none added there, so we'll go ahead and do that. Just go ahead and add some there. We'll just save the changes. And then go back, click on Facesheet, and some more details populated. Good. And so let's go ahead and add the hospital here. New hospital. Hospital name. And that's I would fill in all this information here, but for now we're just going to use it as test hospital and save changes. And so that now gives you an option as a drop down. And so now we're going to add a mortuary. Add a mortuary. Tennis mortuary. Save changes. Now we have a test mortuary listed as a default drop down. So we're going to go back to the resident. We're going to go back to sung. And back to the personal info. Now we're going to use a drop down to click on test mortuary and the test hospital. Save it. Now we're going to go to contacts here. We're going to add a new contact. Because from the face sheet we've got no contacts here. That's a very important piece. So in here we're going to add we'll just use son, where son, first name Steve, last name Bay, address 125 Bravo Court, city Anchorage, Alaska, 503, home number, and you enter in as much information as possible. Test and notes area here. Maybe call this son as number 1 caller. Call some type of note, family request, save the contact. So now you have one contact on there. You can go back to resident info, click on Facesheet. Now you have Stephen here. And the more contacts you have, you'll have more down below Stephen here. Okay. And still has some more stuff here to fill out. Let's see here, personal info, contacts. So, okay, got all that filled out. And contacts. Add a new contact here. I'm going to head back to the RAM. and then you're going to go into resident and info and find the resident, and let's see here, date of birth. We're going to use just use a number there. Save changes. Let's get care level, and this information will show up as you're doing the care plan, and this information will show up as you create the pharmacy here. And religion, I don't think, where was religion? Somebody was added, save, so that is done. Resident information, okay, and so now we're going to go back to spa, go back into your community. I think we needed to add a pharmacy fax number here. The fax number, click on edit. Save changes. Go to utilities, click on sync. Go back to action, the resident view file, and find the resident. Click on PDF. Pharmacy fax number shows up, and we're going to upload the resident photo. Let's see. We're going to click on find the picture. Let's just use picture of myself. Upload picture. There is me. Let's see. And then marital status. Oops, save changes. We're going to write married. Nickname. Yes. Nickname. Save changes. Go ahead and click on Facesheet. And so now we got a picture of myself. And all this information here. Resident contact, pharmacy, and the resident apartment here, apartment phone number, that'll show up as the person who's actually moving in Sun Bay. So that'll automatically show up here. You don't have to take the extra step to force an apartment room number. That'll automatically show up. And so we won't do that. And that's pretty much it. And resident notes, test for resident notes here, and let's see, mark yes, religion, Christian, and save process, go back to resident, click on Facesheet. And so now we have a lot more information, Christian, mark resident notes, and the Medicaid number here, that's if you have a Medicaid resident, you'd want to enter that number in there. So then we're going to go back into the RAM here, Resident Account Management. Go back into Test. I'm going to go find the resident and Son. And then the Medicaid number is, I don't know, we'll just use a number here. Medicaid number. Well, we'll just do that. I'm going to save it. Oh, I didn't like that. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay. So we use M and number. And we already saved it. Double click and go back to your home and back into SPA and head into test. Go back to view resident file. Oh, I'm sorry. Head back to utilities because you made a change in your RAM. Utilities, then sync, and head back into your resident view file. Find the resident again, and go ahead and click on Facesheet. And now you have the resident Medicaid number with an M number sign. And so now this number, this here will automatically populate just like your apartment number will populate. As care plans are developed, your initials, your 30, your 90, your quarterlies, your changing conditions, that'll automatically populate here. And that in your age here automatically populates too when you enter in your date of birth. And so that's pretty much it. So I would recommend printing off all your face sheets and see where you need to update. And you'll need to bounce back and forth from your RAM side of it and your SPA. Make sure you're syncing. Use the utility to sync, and just keep on pressing this face sheet button to see check the, to check the face sheet if that's exactly how you want it. And once you're done, print it out in color and stick it in the binder and keep it at the front desk and have it updated constantly. Most of the communities have a front desk receptionist or the office manager updating, or anyone can update, and just make sure to update the paperwork at the front desk, or if you guys have a standalone binder with all the updated information, because you never know when a family member is going to be coming in. Updated phone numbers, updated addresses, updated insurance policies and information. All that information needs to be updated here on the on your face sheet here. So I hope that information helps, and feel free to call me if you need help. Thank you.